Do you have faith or do you have trust? And I know that they can be confusing. So in this next episode, you will get more information. You will have the opportunity to ponder within your own heart and discover your truth. I'm Dani Palacio, and welcome to Awaking Moment podcast. It's an honor to be here with you. I always feel blessed to be able to sit down, tune in, and then record what is coming through for me. It's more of an act of faith that my connection with the divine, my connection with my own self, and the wisdom and understanding that I have will come through in a way that hopefully will resonate with you. So we're going to talk more about faith and trust. I mentioned it in my first episode of season 3, which was last week. And I know that they're closely related and that I might be splitting hairs, but I feel like there is such an energetic difference between these two words and concepts. It's worth the conversation. And so of course, if you have been listening along over the last couple of years, I like to look at what the definition is according to the dictionary. And so here we go. Trust. A firm belief in the reliability, the truth, the ability, or the strength of someone or something. It is often seen as a verb. It is something that you do. Trust. Faith is complete trust, or a better word, maybe confidence, in someone or something. It is often perceived as a noun. This is something that you have. And I'm going to take it one step more because that dictionary definition is splitting hairs, right? Like they used trust in the definition of faith. So does that mean you have to have trust to be able to have faith? I don't believe so. And so I want to know what you're thinking about this. I'm inviting you to ponder the difference between those two words, maybe even how you use them in your life, and really find out which one do you have more of. And we'll talk more about maybe why that is. So for me, trust is something that is earned. And people test the reliability of someone or something, and then they trust because it's been proven over time that you can trust it. Like meeting someone for the very first time and you get a gut instinct about them, one way or another, good or bad, doesn't matter. Do you trust it? Have you proven to yourself that you're trustworthy? Has someone else proven to you that they're trustworthy? They show up on time. They ask you meaningful questions. They are there in really hard, challenging times in your life, and they're giving you love and support. That builds trust. That is something that is known, that has been proven, and that is something that you then can rely on. That's trust in a lot of ways, right? So you might trust your friends. You might trust your partner. You might trust your dog, that after the dog went to dog school and you've trained it and it now follows commands, that you trust that when you say stop or you tug on the leash, that dog is going to respond exactly the way it was trained. Doesn't happen all the time, but in general, we do trust that will happen. So the other one is faith, which is a big one for me. So faith is something that is not tested. It's something innate and intuitive within us. Your belief in or even surrender to, it's about steadfastness that is unexplainable. Faith involves accepting the unseen, the mysterious even, the unexplainable. And it's not trust, and it's not necessarily belief, but it is something that you have inside you that is faith. And oftentimes when someone has faith, they feel more confident, they feel more aware, they feel like everything is an opportunity, even the sucky things in life. Faith enables the leap. Trust would say, don't leap unless you know where you're landing. Because you got to trust the platform. You got to trust the whatever you're about to leap, the whatever that might be. I don't know. So trust and faith. I got a couple quotes that made me think a little bit more, because a lot of times people are like, they recategorize faith, they label it as trust, because faith is often associated with spirituality, with religion. And so Martin Luther King Jr. said, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the staircase, right? And the Prophet Muhammad, he is quoted as, tie your camel and trust in Allah. I'm not even going to try and explain those two quotes, but I want you to think about them. And I want you to come to some acceptance, right or wrong, good or bad. That doesn't exist, let's say, but some level of acceptance where you are, oh, I'm a trust-oriented person. I need to have data. I need to have repeatability. I need to have information. I need to have it proven to me. And then I'll open my heart. And then I'll show that person love. And then I'll contribute financially to an organization. And faith would say, what do you know is true? Are you listening to your soul? Are you listening to your heart's wisdom? And do you act accordingly, whether it makes sense or not, right? And it's been an interesting journey for me personally, because over the years, I did not feel safe, and it took me a long time to trust. And I had to put people and things and processes through lots of different opportunities to prove to me that I could trust. And over the years, some were right, I could trust, and some were untrustworthy, and I trusted them anyway, and it devastated me. It built walls, it closed off opportunities, it made me very skeptical. And I think that people that know me in my life feel like I am a very open, generous, kind, loving person, which is true, but it is now founded on faith. I now understand that I have to surrender my control. I have to let go of what I think is worthy of my trust and trust that it is in my life, whether it's a person or something or a thing in my life, for a reason. And not all reasons are happy-go-lucky. Some reasons are dark nights of the soul for you to trust and know yourself, to lean into that unseen. Whether you want to call it God or the universe or a higher power, all of it's okay. All of it is something that enables you to let go of your rigid thinking and your need for data, your need to show yourself that's trust, that you can trust it. Faith leaps over trust and creates this amazing, abundant, beautiful experience of what I call divine grace, divine intervention. And I started to trust that more and more, right? I think I talked about it in one of the episodes where I was like, when I got to my yes, finally, yes, divine plan, yes or no, I want the divine plan. It meant that I had to let go, and I'm still learning to let go. So it's not like a one and done thing. It's ongoing. It's a journey. But I thought it was important that we start 2026 with some information about those two words and those two concepts. Now, you know that I am a big believer in the energy centers, the chakras, and that there are 7 main chakras that are in our energy and within our body. They are connected to the organs. And I started to ponder what chakras are the most important, because focusing on all 7 and trying to build and expand all 7 at the same time is possible, but it's challenging. And so I sat with this for a little bit, and what came to me was we have to start in the first chakra, the root chakra, the one that's down in between our legs, that is connected to our perineum, and that is the root of our energy system. And in that energy system, remember, it's red. So it's really red, dark brown. It can even be associated with the color black, but that's really earthy, dark, rooted. And so what does it do? When it's healthy and it's open and it's connected and it's grounded, it creates safety and it gives you the feeling of belonging. And that is so important. And to develop and heal that root chakra, to own that you belong, that you were chosen, that there is a reason for you to be here on this planet right here, right now. That's root chakra. And so when you're taking your walk, stop and touch a tree. When you're taking a walk, stop and smell the flower. When you are out and about, feel your feet on the ground. And if you don't walk and you don't get out and about, right here, right now, wherever you're sitting, stomp your feet and feel the feet. Imagine that they're roots of a tree and you are the tree, and the root chakra is going to, energy is going to move right into the earth, right through those roots down into the earth. There are other ways, of course, to fortify the root chakra, but that seems like a fun one. Now, probably by no surprise, the other chakra, the other energy center, is the crown chakra, the one that sits right on top of your head and is connected to the cosmos. We don't even have to say the divine, but in my world it is. But imagine it's connecting you to the cosmos, the stars, the universe, the planets that are above us, that are sharing their energy, their wisdom with us. And so placing awareness on the crown chakra opens opportunities for new energetics to become awakened. And you need that with faith, because if you're so finite and so stuck that there is nothing outside of you, that to me seems very limited. And I want to encourage you to get out of that limitation. I want you to, at least, if you can't think about, if you're an atheist or you're someone that just cannot understand or allow for a higher power, then connect to the stars. You can see them. You know that there are planets. You know that we are in the galaxy, the Milky Way, and that we are part of a large universe. Allow that to be your truth then. Because if you're so encapsulated that you can't open the energy, the connection to the cosmos, then you're stuck in your head, literally. You're stuck in your head. And in your head is your ego and is your thought processes, and they're amazing, but they are limiting to keeping you safe. How ironic. Keeping you safe. Your ego exists to keep you safe because it doesn't like change, because change is unknown and change you're not sure about. Change is constant. People, like, that is the one thing that we can rely on, that everything is going to always change. Watch the day and night cycle. It changes. It doesn't say day 24/7. It just doesn't. There's a cycle in it. And so the last chakra that I will mention for this particular episode is the third eye. It's right on your forehead, right in between your eyebrows, a little up. So we're like right here. And the third eye chakra, its energy, its purpose is to connect you to your own inner wisdom and the intuitive nature of all things. So it is deep in awareness, and it can help you have discernment around trust and be able to distinguish the difference between trust and faith in your life and choose one. I want you to know that trust and faith there's no good or bad between the two. There is a difference, and that difference is important. And that's what I'm drawing your attention to, the difference, so that you can choose to be in one or the other, or recognize when someone else is testing you to see if they can trust you, versus having the faith that they can connect with you, that they can share with you, that you're there because you're meant to be there, right? I think a lot of times, I know in my own personal life, I sometimes look at people in my life and I compare and contrast, and I try to figure out why they're here and what they're trying to teach me. And are they just a distraction? I've had this with partners. I've had this with friends, sometimes even family members. So I used to be stuck in my head a lot, even though I've had a beautiful 25 plus 30 years of understanding, of knowingness, of faith and trust and spirit and energy. It really has been a journey. And I will even say that I was born into this life with an understanding that the divine was always present. Because I always had angels, I always had spirits, I always could sense and feel flowers, for example. So I did come in with a mystical, magical energy, knowingness, remembering, if you will. And yet I am a human. I had human trauma and I was taught and conditioned to be a certain way. And a lot of us are stuck in trust because we want to feel safe. And I want to encourage you to step into faith, to know that you are safe. You don't have to prove that you're safe. Trust your spirit. Trust that intuitive knowingness. We all have it. And it shows up in different ways for us. So your unique relationship with intuition will enable you to move and ponder and accept or deny what I just shared. I want to thank you for being here. And I also feel like I want to say a short prayer or do some kind of closing, however you want to interpret that. Today, the divine has brought you here, and I ask that the divine and your intuitive, beautiful soul come into awareness and easily and effortlessly release any stuck, any struggle, any need to prove anything to you or to anyone else. And to trust in that divine, mysterious, magical, energetic understanding that all is and all is well. So I ask that that blessing be available to you and that that energy be present in your life moving forward. And that my words and this energy that I'm sharing with you right now is something that pops up into your awareness exactly at the right time. Oh, I love you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again. And please share with your friends and family.